Welcome to Exploration Crochet, the oral campaign of Yarn Over Hook. For this episode, think of me, ReRe, as your pattern sage. And today, we embark on a whimsical quest to uncover the ancient tongue of our people, the fabled lexicon of Hookspeak. Every guild has its language. Healers chant in arcane Latin, dungeon dwellers whisper of saving throws and crits, and we conjure words from stitches and skeins, forged in survival, laughter, and mischief. Hookspeak is no dusty relic. It thrives in guild halls at libraries and digital keeps on the interwebs. In hashtags blazing like signal fires, in the groans and giggles of every stitcher who has ever battled yarn chicken or banished a toad. Born as whispers, rip, rip it. It spread from zines to forums until the whispers become a chorus. Now, adventurers, roll initiative as we crack open the Codex of Hookspeak. Inside are our heroes, the knights sworn to one quest, the bards delighting in the journey, and the reckless, tragic heroes of the puppy projects. But beware, monsters lurk. Toads in exile, UFOs in limbo, the beast of yarn barf, and the perilous duel of yarn chicken. This, my friends, is no mere glossary. It's our grimoire, our map, our saga. So ready your hooks, steady your skeins, and gather close. The dice are cast. The adventure has already begun. All right, adventurers. As we turn the page to open our folklore glossary, let us start by first peering into the Crochet's bag of holding. That enchanted pouch no yarn hero dares leave behind. For just as no knight rides without armor, no stitcher sets forth without their tools of power. Let's start with the Crochet's blade. Where warriors brandish swords and rogues draw daggers, we wield hooks. From the delicate steel talon fit for lacework spells, to the colossal jumbo staff capable of summoning blankets the size of beds, each hook is a weapon of creation. The loyal knight clutches but a few trusty hooks, furnished by years of loyal service. The pattern sorcerer commands an arsenal of enchanted hooks, each imbued for a different incantation. And yarn dragons, they hoard hooks in glittering piles, ivory, wood, stone, resin, gleaming like treasure in their lair. Now on to the notions. Within the bag glimmer the smaller relics, the true trinkets of power. Stitch markers, humble yet mighty, serve as arcane guards, marking your place in the fabric of reality. A tape measure unfurls as both map and compass, guiding the adventurer across inches, feet, and miles of progress. Scissors, small, sharp, merciless. They stand by for color changes, to sever cursed tangles, and to banish factory knots back to the void. Tapestry needles. Though humble in size, these tools exert quiet but vital power. They weave in ends like sealing scrolls, closing the tale of every project with permanence. In the hands of the knight, they finish the final vow. For the bard, they tidy the lore of almost done quests. And for the elder, they attach and mend with patience, ensuring the fabric of the fellowship endures. Without them, no victory is truly won. And finally, a crocheter's lifeblood, yarn. In all its forms. Each put-up is a creature in the Crocheter's menagerie. The hank, elegant and coiled, waits like a dragon at rest. Beautiful, but untouchable until the ritual of winding transforms it into a usable form. And to ignore this rite is to risk a curse of endless tangles. The skein, sly and tumbling, slips about like a mischievous sprite. Docile, if drawn from the inside, but a chaotic trickster if tugged from the outside, rolling away on quests of its own, unless tamed by the spell of a holder. The cake, squat and steadfast, stands like a loyal sentinel. With a flat top and firm base, it feeds yarn smoothly, offering order amidst the chaos of crafting. And lastly, the ball, free-spirited and unpredictable, bounds across the floor like a runaway familiar. Some, with the aid of a bowl, obey their master. Others vanish beneath furniture, awaiting rediscovery like hidden treasure. These, my friends, are the provisions of the quest: weapons, markers, maps, and familiars. Without them, no party could face the wild forest of whips. With them, we march onward, hooks in hand, ready for the next make of legend. Adventurers, now that we are properly equipped, let us unfurl the great storybook of Hookspeak and dive deeper into our folklore glossary. Know this: these are not mere words, they are spells, sagas, legend, and lore, things that every crocheter knows, or should. We start with whip, work in progress. Every adventurer travels with companions, and whips are ours: shawls, blankets, scarves, faithful allies that march alongside us, stitch by stitch. Some remain loyal and true. Others slip into the shadows of project bags, lurking in limbo. FO, finished object. The treasure at the end of the quest. With the final end woven in, the FO gleams like a sword raised high, proof that the battle was fought and won. Frogging, the dark magic of undoing. Chant with me. Rip it, rip it. A curse, yes, but also a cleansing spell, clearing the path for triumphal renewal. Yarn chicken, the most perilous trial of them all. Will your yarn endure to the final stitch, or shall fate sever your journey mere inches from glory? Toad, trashed object abandoned in disgust. The cursed projects, exiled to the Shadowlands, never to be summoned again. UFO, unfinished object, not from the stars, but from our baskets and bins. Quests, frozen mid-journey, drifting in stasis, awaiting a hero's return. Area 51, the Vault of the Forgotten, where toads and UFOs slumber together in crates, totes, and grocery store bags. Should you enter? No. Some things are best forgotten. The Puppy Project. So innocent, so irresistible. A pattern too sweet to ignore, but beware. What begins as a tiny pup grows into a mighty beast, demanding endless gains and endless hours. And oh, the frogging! But still, you love it. As only an adventurer can. Crojo, Crochet Mojo. The spark of magic, the enchanted fire that fuels creation. When Crojo burns bright, you stitch until dawn. When it wanes, your hooks lie silent, awaiting the spell's return. PhD, projects half done. A scholarly title bestowed upon those with many quests left unfinished. Not a mark of shame, but proof of ambition and distraction. HOTH, hot off the hook. The battle cry of victory, a project, fresh from the final stitch, still warm from your hands. To shout HOTH is to claim triumph before the guild. Yarn bar, the beast of chaos, leaping from the heart of the skein, tangled, snarling, putrid, always appearing when least expected and never wanted. Sable, stash acquisition beyond life expectancy. The legendary hoard, more yarn than one lifetime could wield. Some name it a curse. Others, a badge of honor. Either way, it's the dragon's treasure, the king's ransom of the fiber realm. And lastly, yarn bombing, the guerrilla magic of the streets, trees wrapped in color, lampposts cloaked in stitches. It's rebellion, it's joy, it's fiber alchemy woven boldly into the world. These, my friends, are not mere terms. They are the living glossary of our craft, the sagas etched into every stitch. But language is never only about the words. It's also about the adventurers who wield them. For every whip and UFO, for every skirmish with yarn chicken or triumph of HOTH, there is a hero behind the tale. So gather close for the final chapter, where we shall explore the archetypes, the heroes, the tricksters, the very vessels who give Hookspeak its power. Every folklore has its heroes, its rogues, its tricksters, and in Crochet, our language doesn't merely describe projects, it describes us. Adventurers, let me introduce you to the archetypes of our craft. First off, the loyal knight, also called the monogamous crocheter. Sworn to yarn vows, they pledge their honor to a single quest at a time. Steadfast, loyal, unwavering, they march until the final stitch is laid, their projects completed with nightly devotion. The wandering bard, the process crocheter, minstrel of stitches. Their music is the rhythm of loops, their tale the journey itself. For the bard, finishing is optional, but inspiration flows eternal. The yarn dragon, keeper of sable. They hoard skeins and hooks like mountains of treasure. The questing rogue, known as the yarn adventurer. Ever lured by markets, fairs, crawls, they gather trophies from every shop. Hanks, skeins, cakes, they collect them like relics, reminders of past expeditions. The battle mage, aka the murder hobo of the crochet realm. A frog whisperer, master of undoing and destruction. Their pulls are like daggers. Their mantra, just frog it. What others see as ruin, they see as rebirth. Or yarn lust. Welding frogging with ruthless efficiency. The pattern alchemist, summerer of stitches, conjurer of design. Where others follow scrolls and scripts, they write their own incantations. Patterns forged from imagination and arcane craft. The rebel trickster, the yarn bomber, jester of rebellion. Trees cloaked in fiber, lampposts shrouded in stitches, public runes woven with humor and defiance. Half prankster, half artist, all bold. The village elder, the communal crafter. They thrive in guild circles, charity quests, and gatherings of fellowship. They do not only weave yarn, they weave people together into something greater than themselves. And lastly, the yarnmancer, weaver of wonders, infusing yarn with light. Where others crochet garments and blankets, the yarnmancer bends hook and fiber to conjure amigurumi and plush familiars. Little people, dragons, pumpkins, each stitched with magic, majesty, and even mischief. And so these archetypes live among us. They're not just figures in storybooks, they are the very characters of our folklore, stitched into every shawl, every blanket, and every plushie we share. And perhaps, dear adventurer, you've already seen yourself in one of them. And with every loop, every skein, every tale, we write the next chapter. And so, brave explorer, our quest draws to a close. We have ventured through the great lexicon of Hookspeak, encountered the archetypes who wield, hoard, and enchant with the hook, and traced the living path of our ever-growing tongue. But hear this, folklore is never finished. Every laugh at the perils of yarn chicken, every sigh at a cursed toad, every whispered phrase across guild circles and glowing forums weave new runes into our language. You too are not just listener, but keeper of the stories. So tell me, adventurer, who are you in this folklore? Are you the steadfast knight, the yarnmancer, the pattern alchemist, or the rebel trickster? Declare your archetype, share your tale, add your verse, for this lexicon belongs to us all, and with each voice it grows stronger. So, until our threads entwine again, may your skeins be untangled, your hooks swift, and your stories abundant. This has been Exploration Crochet. Thanks for listening.